Hi guys, it's Renee. Welcome back to Group 4's Comms 1399 Thesis Scholar channel. So today we're going to be discussing our thesis, which is the qualitative study of Trinidadian women's perceptions of the portrayal of black female friendship in the movie Girls Trip. So now I'm going to pass the phone to the person doing the introduction. I hope you guys enjoy.
Hi, my name is Carla Melville, and today I'll be taking you through the introduction of the thesis for COMS 1399, a qualitative study of Trinidadian perceptions of the portrayal of black female friendships in the movie Girls Trip. Firstly, the problem statement. Due to the lack of research and understanding of black women in interpersonal friendships in a year such as 2021, this paper examined the dynamic of these friendships along the movie Girls Trip and how it is perceived by women in Trinidad. Chambly stated that the existing literature of women's friendships lacks information about black women's friendships. The researchers investigated the perception and female friendships among women in Trinidad in order to gain an understanding of how communication takes place in these friendships. If certain roles are a necessity in friendships, what prompts conflict, and the likelihood of or possible reason behind certain stereotypes. The significance of the study is to identify and bring light to any concerns of how black women and black female friendships are perceived to Caribbean women. The aim is to analyze the representation of African American female friendships in the media in relation to the personal experiences of black women in Trinidad, whether or not they are affected by these issues. Objectives: to examine the different personalities as depicted in the movie Girls Trip, to investigate the different personalities as depicted in the movie Girls Trip, to examine the relational comparison participants develop after watching this movie. The research questions are as follows. 1. What elements contribute to the creation of and longevity of friendships in the movie? What types of stereotypes are portrayed in the movie? Third, what elements of the movie contradict or counter these stereotypes? 4. How does the representation of black women in the movie impact Trinidadian female viewers? 5. What is the value of interpersonal friendships to Trinidadian women? And 6. Can you describe the personalities depicted in the movie?
Thank you, Carlan. Now on to the lit review. So hi again. The portrayal of black women in the media have been an ongoing discussion amongst the black community due to the negative connotations black women have been labeled as, for example, being promiscuous, having unnecessary attitude, and being loud and or ghetto. Recently, there has been significant discourse regarding the importance of showcasing black female friendships in a realistic and positive light to the masses. There's also limited research on whether these on-screen depictions of black female friendship affect Caribbean women, especially Trinidadian women, on their perception of friendship. This literature review will discuss black female friendships, thus the interpersonal relationships amongst the character within the movie Girls Trip, and the portrayal of black women in the media. Ryan, Sasha, Dina, and Lisa are 4 educated women who have been friends since college. Despite their completely different personalities, they managed to create a strong bond and solidify their friendship by calling themselves the Flossy Posse. Although over the years, distance, small disagreements, and life on a whole prevented them from seeing each other as frequently as they used to, no matter what, they still supported each other, kept in touch, and made time for each other when it was absolutely necessary. According to Hasanti 2016, female bonding becomes an invaluable treasure of African American women for combating the anomalies of life, like racism, classism, and sexism. Although there weren't any implications of sexism and classism, there was a hint of racism where Ryan's manager, who happens to be white, mentioned a few colloquialisms that she learned online in order to fit in with Ryan's group of black friends. According to Chambly 2012, which expresses that friendship is based on commonalities and being able to be understood, which reinforces Hasanti's point in a different context where black females should need and trust other black females due to the fact that they have possible similar shared life experiences. Now on to the portrayal of black women in the media. According to Hooks, Hollywood has been accused of consistently selling negative and incomplete images of African American culture to the viewers of the box office. These negative and incomplete images of African Americans were created to dehumanize Black people, especially during times of enslavement, to ensure that slavery continued. Specifically, Black women were subject to incorrect representation in the media. For example, the aforementioned examples where Black women are considered loud or ghetto, have unnecessary attitude, and are usually known to be promiscuous. According to Chambly 2012 and Collins 2000, there are 5 categories with which Black women are represented within the media: the mommy, the matriarch, the welfare mother, the black lady, and the Jezebel Hoochie. The mommy is described as asexual, non-threatening, overweight, and possibly dark-skinned. The matriarch is a mother and head of a Black household, but is described as emasculating and aggressive, and unfeminine due to how aggressive she is. She has children, but none of her children's fathers are actually willing to marry her due to how aggressive she is. The welfare mother is unemployed and is living off the system and is mother to children she cannot afford. The black lady is essentially a middle-class mommy. Due to the fact that her profession allowed her to move up in class, she is still unmarried and without children. And lastly, the Jezebel Hoochie is known for being promiscuous because she's insatiably sexual and wants to have sex as much as men do. Sasha could be considered a mommy or a black lady due to the fact that she is overweight, non-threatening, and dark-skinned, and possibly asexual due to the fact that she had no known love interest within the movie, and her profession allowed her to live a middle-class lifestyle. However, Lisa and Ryan do not fall into any of the 5 categories Black women are stereotyped under in the media. For instance, Lisa, although a mother, she is not unfeminine, a working professional, and has been married, while Ryan is a successful entrepreneur who is married. The movie Girls Trip seeks to contradict all of the stereotypes placed on Black women in the media. Now, I'd like to pass the phone to the person doing the theoretical framework.
Understand and analyze the research being studied. The 2 best theories that accurately assist in further justifying and explaining the studies are cultivation theory and audience reception theory. Cultivation theory says that people who watch television more frequently are more likely to be influenced by the messages of the world of television. The influence goes to such an extent that their worldview and perception starts reflecting what they repeatedly see and hear on television. This theory was chosen as it explains the importance of what is portrayed in the media, specifically television and movies. Audience reception theory is a concept that identifies the fact that movies, books, and other media influences the audience who watch or experience it to create a meaning. The audience comes into an understanding of the happenings of the text or screen. The meaning of the message can change in the way they see it fit according to the social context. In this study, we are analyzing the effect that the media has on individuals who perceive the messages in the dominant context. This theory was chosen as it also explains the influence of what is portrayed in the media by the audience. Now I'll pass you on to Krista, who will be doing the methodology.
Thank you, Rochelle. My name is Krista Marie, and I will be speaking about the methodology chapter. So, qualitative research. This approach was used to collect and analyze concepts, opinions, and experiences from the research participants. So, we use this to analyze data on the portrayal of and perceptions of Black female friendships in the film Girls Trip. Content analysis. As a research method, content analysis was chosen to examine the portrayal of Black female friendships. It was also the most effective method to fit the objectives of the study. It was also valuable as it allows researchers to analyze relationships and meanings of words, text, themes, and concepts. A part of the content analysis were codes and the coding manuals. The codes were used to analyze the participants' responses from the focus groups, and the coding manual was used to analyze the movie scenes. Sampling. So the sampling we used was convenient sampling, and this is a type of non-random sampling where members of the target population met the criteria for the purpose of the study. The sampling size was 20 females. The ages were between 18 to 32 years old, the target population was female. And the sampling that we chose was 20 females who watched the movie Girls Trip. We chose these females as we wanted in-depth responses and information about their feelings and perceptions after watching the movie Girls Trip. So this is the sampling frame here for the focus group design. So Trinidad, the woman 18 to 32, and the 20 females. So the focus groups. The purpose of the focus group was to obtain responses on their perspectives and feelings towards the movie. The focus groups were 90 minutes long and they were divided into 2 groups of 10. The focus groups were also chosen based on previous studies that used this instrument to gain information. The moderator's guide. The moderator's guide was important as it reminded us of the important topics to answer for the research questions, and it also prepared the moderator for the discussion and also kept the discussion conversational. So this was the importance of the moderator's guide, to guide the moderator questions about the themes and guideline for the discussion. Data analysis was what we used to extract important information from the data. So firstly, thematic analysis, a useful method for examining the perspectives of different research participants, highlights similarities, differences, and generates unanticipated insights, such as these themes were friendships, representations of Black women, positive or negative stereotypes, and okay, now moving on to the codes and the coding manual. The codes were created from the focus group's transcripts. A code symbolically assigns a substantive or evocative attribute for a portion of qualitative data. So the codes created were personalities. Number 2, we had female friendships. Under female friendships, we had formation, conflict and resolution, and features of friendship. So anything that the respondent said that related to female friendships, that was a code. And thirdly, we had representations of Black women. Under representations of Black women, we had negative stereotypes, positive stereotypes, and critique of friendships. And the critique. The coding manual was used to analyze the movie scenes. And from these movie scenes, we had exclusive codes. These codes were types of women, types of friendships, relationship status, woman experiences, and representation of Black women. Now that I've finished discussing the methodology chapter, I will take you on to JL, who will discuss discussions and findings.
Here to give you the inside scoop on our findings based on our 6 research questions. Question 1. What elements contribute to the creation and longevity of friendship? Now, based on our focus groups, it can be concluded that the participants feel that to maintain a close bond of friendship, women need to display qualities such as supportiveness, honesty, and loyalty. Chambly 2017 supports this by noting that friendships are based on commonalities, loyalty, and the ability to understand each other. So it is clear that these qualities are crucial in the creation and maintenance of friendships among Black women. Dobson 2011 also supports saying that within friendships, individuals go to great lengths to support and protect their friends and the interests of them, whilst also praising the loyalty that is reciprocated. Question 2. Describe the personalities in the movie. Just to quickly sum it up, Ryan was considered a successful, well put together, and glamorous friend. Dina was the wild, carefree, overly sexual, violent, but protective friend. Lisa was the motherly, reserved, and strict friend, and Sasha was the laid-back friend. And the participants' ability to properly interpret the characters of the movie is a reflection of the audience reception theory, as they interpreted the messages and were able to create their own opinion based on the dominant view they took upon or negotiated view of these characters. Question 3. What types of stereotypes are portrayed in the movie? Now, there are a number of stereotypes. And the stereotypes as follows: angry black woman, crazy black woman, and loud black woman were all in relation to the character Dina, which did not, which many participants could not appeal to, as they felt very hurt and disappointed that her character was an exaggeration of black women's emotions. And other stereotypes that were displayed were single parent, which was in relation to Lisa, struggling broke black woman, which is in relation to Sasha, who was now faced with an eviction notice. And what stood out the most to the participants was the fact that all participants were either struggling with a relationship or all single. And it invoked the stereotype that black women could never keep a man. Research question 4. What elements of the movie contradict or counter these stereotypes? Now, whilst there were many stereotypes, it's important to note that the viewers found that it was more towards very little scenes. They overall felt like the depiction of black women was in a positive manner. They felt as though, it was finally a group of females that were going on a trip together, traveling the world, successful, strong, all college graduates, and very beautiful and supportive friends, versus depicting black women or black friends in a way that they were always struggling with something. So this focus group described it as a very refreshing and positive depiction. And also in relation to the audience reception theory, they were able to interpret the messages from the movie in a dominant or negotiated view. Research question 5. How does the representation of black women in the movie impact Trinidad viewers? Now, it's important to note that the film itself did not impact the behavior of these women after viewing the film. However, the presence of stereotypes did upset and anger participants. They felt disappointed in the misrepresentation of the character Dina, especially in her scenes. However, overall, they were more proud of the depiction of black women. Here we can see the cultivation theory at work, as it was observed that what was portrayed in the movie did impact these women to a certain degree, as they felt disappointed and proud. Research question 6. What is the value of interpersonal friendships to Trinidadian women? Each participant expressed a profound need for genuine, happy friendships, and that the roles of each character are roles that should be taken in real life. So a supportive, ambitious friend, a laid-back friend, a motherly friend, a very wild and carefree friend. However, what stood out to them the most is that longevity of friendships is what equates the value of a friendship. Thank you, and I'll now take you to the limitations.
Our thesis, we did encounter several limitations, and they went as such: difficulty in acquiring meaningful secondary sources related to our topics, also difficulty acquiring participants to participate in our focus group. Some were just unwilling to, some were not available at the appointed time, and some just did not attend even when they said they were. Now I will pass you on to Colin, who will be doing the conclusion.
Our study concluded that it was evident from the study that the portrayal of Black female friendships had an impact on how Trinidadian women felt about women being depicted in the movie. Secondly, based on the findings of the studies, Trinidadian women identify with the representation of Black female friendships and women in the movie. Thirdly, Trinidadian women were aware of the positive and negative stereotypes within the representation of Black female friendships and Black women.
And that is the end to our video. However, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting facts about communication. See you later.